What's up, guys? So we're here at John Quint's house. He's here to basically make sure I'm functioning properly. Things are moving the right direction, keeping me mobile, keeping me functional. Obviously, with the sport, you're going to have little aches and pains, little imbalances, adhesions, whatnot. I've been working with him now for, 6 months, 7 months or so, for a long time. I try to come up here probably every couple months at least, if not more often. And sometimes I'll have him come down to Lexington. But he's done wonders for me. He's the best, and I've worked with a lot of guys. And he's one of the best I've ever worked with because he actually kind of diagnoses where the issue is. And like if you're having elbow pain, most people will just treat the elbow. All right, he's going to kind of go back to what's actually causing this pain, to whether you're anteriorly rotated, if you need to be opened up in the thoracic, whatever it may be. So he kind of steps back and looks at things a lot more objectively and treats things instead of putting a Band-Aid on where the pain is. Because typically wherever the pain isn't what the cause is. So he's great at that. He's a neuromuscular therapist, active release. So he's kind of basically all rolled into one. So today he's going to dig me out, all the little issues, my traps, my lats, keep me functioning until I can come see him again, probably around the Arnold in March, a couple weeks out from my show. And then going into nationals as well, I'll come back up and see him. So John, he'll be talking throughout kind of describing what he's doing to me and torturing me, because it's a little painful sometimes, but it's worth it, just the way it makes me feel. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. So you can see Alan's got a little bit of a limb length discrepancy, so it's a discrepancy, not a difference. The difference would mean that this leg is physically longer or shorter than this leg. But you can see when we look, you can see how his legs, his ankle bones right here don't line up, right? So that kind of throws everything off. And then what we'll do is we'll see if he's got anything going on with his pelvis. And he does. If you can look at his knees, you're going to see that he's got a little bit of a pelvic rotation where these guys aren't lined up. It's very minor. But so a lot of that issue, at least I see, is this psoas complex, which is your psoas, your iliacus, and quadratus lumborum, which kind of always gets a lot of the bodybuilders. So what we'll do is we'll treat this, and then we'll see if it makes a difference. So your hip flexors are going down into here, and he had one that was shorter than the other, so it's creating this rotation. So on the front, we didn't get it, but we adjusted this where these two pubic bones come in that pubic symphysis. It was kind of rotated like that, so we fixed that rotation. But what happens is on the back side, where that hip bone comes back in here to the sacrum, now we got to get that. So we actually mobilized the side that was impinged, but we'll mobilize the opposite side. And what we're going to do is I'll stabilize this side, and then we're rotating this side, and then you'll be able to see the mobility that he has there. If somebody had an impingement, you wouldn't see any mobility. But he's got good mobility, so you'll be able to see it. So he's just pushing down a little bit in this side. And then what we're doing is taking tension through this leg so that it goes in the SI joint. And then all I got to do is this, and you can see how that guy rotates really well. Perfect. Yeah, good. Awesome. How's that feel?
Good.
There. You okay? So now we're able to get onto this whole psoas and do some biomechanics while we treat it. Because now that his GI tract's out of the way, this is the belly of it right here. Definitely a little knot. So all I'm going to do is grab that guy, take this guy into extension for me, and we're just going to start to lengthen that tissue. Good. And arch. And reach. And rotate as much as you can. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Good. And relax. Perfect. Yes, that's really good mobility. We've been treating it for a while. He does a lot of mobility exercises on his own. Normally you don't see that much extension with rotation, especially in bodybuilders. They don't really have the ability to do this and rotate because everything is so tight here. Okay, flip that. You okay? So now we're able to get onto this whole psoas and do some biomechanics while we treat it. Because now that his GI tract's out of the way, this is the belly of it right here. Definitely a little knot. So all I'm going to do is grab that guy, take this guy into extension for me, and we're just going to start to lengthen that tissue. Good. And arch, and reach, and rotate as much as you can. Keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. Good. And relax. Perfect. Yes, that's really good mobility. We've been treating it for a while. He does a lot of mobility exercises on his own. Normally you don't see that much extension with rotation, especially in bodybuilders. They don't really have the ability to do this and rotate because everything is so tight here. Okay, flip that. So we're just going to go through his lat here. So you can see it's right below his teres. So just keep this guy straight up for me. So all we're going to do is just basically take this lat down this way, and then he's going to take it the opposite way. Just going to try and peel that guy off his thoracic cavity. Good. Perfect, man. Do one more. Yeah. And you can see how we can grab that whole lat. And we're just kind of taking it this way. Keep that guy straight up for us. And get this guy back here. And then he's able just to go straight back. Perfect. And relax. Good. Just going through his trap mostly, but getting some levator scapula and stuff as well. What we're doing is this tissue, we're just trying to take this tissue down and back to start to open up all this stuff. Because a lot of guys, when they get bigger traps, a lot of it wants to come down and forward because gravity's pushing it down and forward. So we're just trying to take it down and back and work more of the connective tissue this way. Okay. Mm-hmm. Perfect. So this is trap. We'll go through splenius capitis here. There's this guy's right next to trap. So you can see. Just let that guy relax. Let me just go through. Here. Try and open that guy up. Perfect. Good. Okay, flip it. You okay? Yeah. This is just basically on this top superior medial border of the scapula where there's levator scapula and trapper kind of coming in. And he's, normally I use a thumb, but with guys that got development back here, it's hard to get on that edge and really start to work that because this has kind of been an issue for him. This area, Basically just trying to grab a hold of that tissue, which is right there, and then start to add some biomechanics in there to get some motion back into this tissue. Is that recording? Mm-hmm. Alright, so we're going to get his pec minor, which you get your pec major, but your pec minor attaches basically on ribs 3 through 5, and then it comes up onto the front of the scapula. And a lot of guys, it gets really restricted and tight. Alan's not a good example because you can see that he doesn't have this, like you see a lot of competitors that they have this tilted scapula coming forward. He doesn't have that. It would look like this. A lot of times pec minor is the main thing in there, but this helps open up his scapula. So all we're going to do in bodybuilders, when they have a pec that's developed like this, a lot of times by just the sheer weight gets this pec minor to get adhered to his thoracic cavity. So all we're going to do is come up under, and there's pec minor right there. And we're just going to do some biomechanics. So just externally rotate that guy. So you're just going to rotate that guy back. And then I'm just going to hold that. And then he's going to come up with that shoulder. Like, yeah. You're just going to reach up. And then let this relax. And then the big thing is taking all this stuff off his thoracic cavity. So I'm just going to keep that pressure under that pec minor. He's going to take a big breath up, make his chest come up, and we're just going to open that area up and relax. Good, perfect. Is that tender? No. So we'll do the same thing over here. Come up, that's pec minor right there. We just have them rotate. Okay, this one's a little bit tighter, it feels like. And then he's just going to come up. He's going to stay right on that guy. Good, let this relax. Big breath up, chest up. Good. Yeah. And exhale. Good. One more breath up for me. There. And relax. Perfect. Good, man.